So good morning. My name is Ari Lee, and I've been actually sent from your congregation, CCUM, sent by CCUMC to eastern Uganda, a small town called Kumi, to an organization named YCBM since practically the year I joined the church, which was 2001. So thank you. You've been faithful in sending me. Now, frog. That's a term I learned actually at this year's YCBM 5th annual benefit dinner from Uncle Bert, who taught us that frog stands for fully rely on God. That's right. Fully rely on God. And that was a term that kind of stuck with me because, first of all, he had a little froggy pet on his shoulder that kept dropping. And also on that night, as we were holding the benefit dinner to fundraise for our school, the Kumi Christian Visionary School, the children at the school, these are primary school age children, were holding an overnight prayer vigil for us, fully relying on God, practicing their frogging. So I thought about my time there and what I could share, and it came to mind because this is something I learn over and over again when I go over there, is that certainly those children and our friends at YCBM have something to teach us about fully relying on God through our ministry and missions, through our lives, and in all the ways we approach. So would you pray with me? Once again, I pray and lift this up to you, that in spite of our human failings and limits, would you do your thing and tell us of your love directly from your heart to our hearts, all of our hearts, because of your love. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so how many of you were there at the benefit dinner? Okay, good. Some of you actually missed it. So I thought what I would do actually is reprise a little video that we showed. I think even those who were there wouldn't mind a little reminder of our time there, because that actually has the best story of kind of what it's like there. So I invite you to, for a moment, transport yourself to eastern Uganda, equatorial Africa, in central eastern Uganda, to a little town called Kumi, to a little school that just got started, just in 2014. So they completed their first 2 years of opening this school. All right, so they at KCVS, I think I'm going to have to do a little voiceover narration, so let's start.
They're being solar bathed, and they're reading already, and it is now.
I got up at 5.
Are they people?
And I missed their waking up because they're up doing their morning studies at 5, and it's dark. This is the girls' dormitory. They have mats on the floor.
I think this used to be the classroom with the library. Where have you moved the books?
There they are. Do you notice how dim the light is? They have one bulb, one fluorescent bulb. And it was so quiet. Not a peep. Each morning, there are day scholars who get bussed back and forth by the little van that could. This little old 20-something-year-old van makes 5 trips.
Hello.
To transport the kids, the day scholars. Yes. The boarders stay, of course.
Okay.
And the first ones get there at 5:30. And then they keep coming back and forth. This is the whole school building. Dawn is upon them, and they're arriving, and they're doing some cleaning. They do their morning chores, sweeping and cleaning up their school, picking up trash. These are the 7th graders who are studying for their leaving exams, which is huge. I'll tell you about that later, after church.
Going with those water jars.
Gathering water at their pump. That pump
Oh,
was
sure.
donated
Picking up
and
trash.
built
All
by,
of us.
that's the cook, Madam Cook.
And
Donated by Drop in the Bucket, another organization.
No, for what? For porridge. Ah, is that how much?
This is us. This one.
That's the big pot
Big one. We use
that
this
the
one
meal
to
is
put
cooked.
in portion to know what the
And they raise
Oh,
goats
there are many.
so that they can provide
They're
some
young ones. They are
income
big.
and source of protein for the children.
How many are there?
They cook in the bucket. More children. This is what I call, no wait, is that right? Yes, the clown car, because they keep coming. I think they fit like 30 kids in there. It's a minivan sized van. We're happy to see you. These are the nursery kids going into their classrooms.
We use a banga for cutting.
A voodoo clap, another one.
Very good. Clap your hands, boys. Dance alone.
Flower.
Use a flower.
Flower. You see the sticks? Can you see the sticks? They're counting sticks to learn arithmetic and
Again.
they're learning to spell big numbers in longhand, biology, anatomy, handmade posters. Kids are volunteering information. That little girl over there is the student body president. You see how they're reading the board? This is how they learn to read. And they have their, basically our blue book notebooks. They don't have textbooks. This is how they learn to read. That's Stacy, by the way. And she's a good student, smart one. Little one,
It can also be used either within the sentence or at the beginning of the sentence.
look at that handwriting. I think they're learning antonyms and homonyms and synonyms and tsetse flies, about tsetse flies. Concentration. See, they copy what the teacher writes on the board, and this is how they learn. That becomes their textbook.
So, that's number one. Now, can you mention the other sentence? Rakira, spell the word cave.
The class sizes are relatively small, anywhere from 11 to the largest being 33.
Which one? Huh? the ratio is there is 1 centimeter to what? To 6. So now what distance in centimeters?
Oh, this is the 7th grade
so
math.
1/6 times what?
By the way, the teacher that's teaching them is also the headmaster.
Right, that's what?
So he takes the 7th grade students and prepares them for the exam, the leaving exams.
Then you multiply by the distance. You see? So we have this one, and we have here.
Morning assembly. It's around 9. The head girl, the head girl is the body president, is leading them in their Pledge of Allegiance, their version, and singing the school anthem and giving her remarks. This is the worship team, school worship team. They're leading them in praise. This is another student praying, giving prayers for the morning.
We want to for all that night together. Father, we want to call upon your Holy Spirit.
This is our preacher, Okui Silver, student preacher, giving the morning sermon. He used the song text to say, to encourage the students that they will succeed. They'll do well. Morning porridge is ready. Everyone ready for breakfast. And that's the posho for lunch later. And that's the beans. That's gonna go over. That's their meals every day. And the little ones get fed first. They wash their hands at the washing station. They line up neatly and they come and get their porridge. The little ones get theirs pre-poured so they'll cool down, so they don't burn their tongues. The older ones can serve themselves.
You take that the glass.
Can you hurry up, please?
Can you hurry up, please?
Like you're going to the market.
This is a nursery area, learning words and objects. Remember flower, flower, cup.
Now I want someone who can console. 4, 5, 6, 7.
This is English class, as you can see. Math, graph, and some pre-algebra stuff. Word problems, more anatomy. Remember the preacher? He looks little, but he's in 7th grade. And they're doing mock exams. They're prepreparing. They do mock exams to kind of try to see where they're at.
Are you enjoying life in your dormitory?
Yeah.
After school.
Oh, good. Okay, nice. Now, who's the senior member here?
Me,
Hey, how old are you?
I am 13 years old.
You're 13. There's nobody else who's older here.
They are here.
They're here, but you, what are you
Primary 5.
P5, okay.
Yes.
But you look like you could be older, no? Yes?
How old are you?
15. Oh, you are older. Okay, how old are you? 14, 15. So far, you're the oldest. We'll see you from
This is
America.
Sheila. Sheila
If you
Keddy
talk
is
to him
one
right
of
here.
our sponsored children.
Say hello.
Hello.
And what do you want to say? How do you like KCBS?
Yeah.
You like it? Okay, are you in?
Sheila is HIV positive, so she's had some severe health challenges, and this is the happiest I've
What
seen
is
her
good
in
about
every
studying
year
at
that I've
KCBS?
visited. So it was good to see her.
Because it means Christian missionary.
Hey, good answer, good answer. Hey, secondary, you want secondary so you can still
Hard to
continue.
understand what they're
so you don't
saying.
have to scatter all over.
They're saying they wish
have to
that
be scattered
KCBS would have a
everywhere,
secondary
right?
school so
You
they
want
can
to stay.
continue at the school.
Good, good. Are you more? What do you want to do with your studies? I want to become a nurse. Nurse. Wow, that's a good dream to have.
This is the boys' dormitory. They're using one of the classroom right now because boys' dorms have not been built yet.
What we call lice.
Hey, coming here prevents lice. Okay, good. So, how many balls did we bring last year? Many.
There are many.
And they all have punctures, or all. Are you sure that you can? Are you sure that you
We
can't
brought
just
many balls that have
pump them
all
up?
been broken. So this is what they're playing with. Watch carefully the ball they're playing with. Can you see that? It's hard to see, huh? There it is. You see what they're playing with? It's, yeah, plastic bags bundled together. This is the after-school study group for 7th graders, the exam, they call them the candidates. Very serious business. And then the other little ones are hanging out with the cook. They love helping the cook. She's a wonderful lady. She really loves them. She's like a mama. There's Stacy helping the cook. And the little ones just love playing. Sorting beans. This is a teacher at the school. She's chopping wood so that they can make the fire for dinner.
Then I'm going to set now.
Okay.
Mingling Posho.
Wow, look at that. Mingle, mingle. Okay. Serving. Okay. Do you see
Dinner
their
bell
bells?
is rung.
They're lining up.
Supper
They're
time.
ready. They're ready for their supper.
Kids, I got laughed at by the children because I was afraid of the chicken.
You're recording it?
I was afraid it might have fleas because I get bitten. They thought it was the funniest thing ever. This is evening devotion time. They love this time, and this was really a moving time because I got to witness them really pray. It's too bad it's so dark you can't see it because I didn't have good lighting. And they were happy because they told them that I was going to come to their evening worship with them, evening prayer time.
They need a larger solar panel, I think.
They're studying again. Literally, it's that dim in there. I don't know how they can see anything but. And then the little ones go to bed. The older ones, the little ones go to bed at 8, so they can get up at 5. The older ones stay up until 10 to study, especially the candidates. That's the bulb. And they're studying, and you can hardly see anything in there. I think that's it. So next time I'm at Kumi Christian Visionary School, I'm taking either Jacinto or Ben with me because, as you can see, I'm a horrible videographer. So it's a wonder that Ben made anything out of it because he looked at it and said, there's nothing usable here. So please come with me, Jacinto or Ben or somebody who's better at me than. Now, you also saw during the one of the things that I really enjoy about visiting is we can call this, we do a lot of work for this. Our church does a lot, puts in an amazing, miraculous amount of effort in this. But when I get there, I realize, oh, they're my friends. These are real people, real lives, and real children of God who are really precious and really beloved. This is the reason I go back, is this, we learned in our morning's TED Talk Sunday school, that we form relationships. And Ben, can you go to the next page? I introduced two of the kids at the, can you see them? It's really hard to see. Can you get the lights maybe off? Thank you, Adrian. I invited you to meet two of the students. One is Brenda Nyadoy, the one who was living by herself at age 13 in a little police barrack port by the roadside because both her parents had died, and her older sister who ran off to the village with a man. So she was on her own, and she's now here, and she still goes back to her barracks because that's the only home. And on the day we went back, she found out that the police or the government wants the barracks back, so she lost her only home. So she now stays 24/7 permanently at the school. So the school actually takes care of her during the holidays. So she would be there now, right now, even though school isn't open. Okui Silver is a star student there. You saw him preach. He's also one of the candidates who are slated to be one of the top get the top marks and get the school's ranking up high, which means good reputation for the school, which means, you know, lots of good students. He is sponsored by MADI, an organization that supports gifted and needy young students in different parts of the world, making a difference international. And I introduced them, so I don't have to go into a lot of detail for them. But what I didn't get to is there are so many others whose stories are so compelling and so amazing, really, and humbling to listen to. There's Alupo Susan, a little third grader who lost both parents, and Steve and I, when we went on our mission trip, had her in our second grade class. And we remembered her because she was the girl with the pink jacket all the time. She was wearing the exact same jacket this year. So I'm assuming that's the only one she owns, and she's wearing that. Whose 21-year-old brother is the only support that she has. Little Olungo Stanley, another total orphan, who doesn't know his age or his birthday because no one ever thought it important to let him know. And he doesn't make eye contact because who knows what story he comes with. Spunky little Stacy Arengo, you saw, the student body president who campaigned and became elected as the head girl, and whose mother died of AIDS, who was abandoned by her alcoholic father. and who is herself HIV positive. And then there's, yeah. So one evening at devotion time, those evening prayer times, Silver is there every day. They call him uncle. And so because Silver calls me mom, they call me grandma, even though I don't even have children. So I'm the grandma, and they were singing with me. They love that time. That's their time where they get nourished spiritually and emotionally. And Silver's there praying with them, praying over them, praying together, singing together. I mean, and Silver and his new wife, Rachel, were there, and the kids, Rachel led a song that really broke it down for me. It's perhaps a song you may all know. It's called I Have a Maker. And maybe I want to sing it with you now because when I sang it with them as I was looking at the children singing together and hanging on to every last words, yeah, that when Isaiah says, you know, I am your God and you're mine and you're precious to me and honored and I love you. It really kind of brought home for me that that promise is all they have, really. So, okay. So there are these, you see what Silver is holding on to? We made little artworks because Becky sent artwork so that we can fundraise and they can contribute. And I took pictures of the artists with their artwork and their names are on it. And I invite you now to just kind of sing with them, remembering that these are the words sung and prayed and hung on to by these children. So let's sing it together. Whoop. Can we go to the next slide? Before even time began, my life was in his hand. Once again, I have a maker. He formed my heart. Before even time began, my life was in his hand. He knows my name. He knows my every thought. He sees I have helps you to meet the kids, so to speak, and feel as though you've spent a little time with the children. And I want to talk about the lessons, frogging lessons, once again, because Silver Omakeni, the founder, Silver Omakeni, there he is, the musician, and just, he's a very simple young man, not well-spoken, but his heart, really, he spends a lot of time listening to God. I think he's a man of prayer. He listens to God, and I think God shows him God's heart. Because he says, when you pray with these kids, you just can't let them go. There's no way you can give up on any one of those. And there are many times he's faced pressures and challenges in his ministry. Like, more than once he's had not death threats, but actually death attempts. He's been poisoned, he's been hit by a car, he's been broken into, people have got, come at him with guns because they think that he works for Western-backed organization, he has money or something. He's been misunderstood. He had lots of women who thought he would have money come and say, oh, I want to marry you, and then when they actually got to know that he didn't own a single cent to his name, they left him more than once, twice, 3 times. So he said his heart broken, and in many ways, the school, he has pressures for the schools to become self-sustaining, but he has too many children who are too needy that he just cannot see let go. So oftentimes he says, there's so many times I just feel like giving up or paralyzed or in despair. And he says, God has given me this vision. And it's grand, believe me. When I first heard the vision and he shared it with me just like a typical Westerner, I thought, oh, he's telling me, so that means I must do it myself. I must solve the problem. I must come in and rescue, right? We heard in our TED Talk, that was exactly the mindset I had, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, buddy, you're talking to a wrong person. You gotta go talk to some millionaire or some humanitarian somebody, because I'm nobody. I don't raise money, I'm not rich, and I can't organize. And really, he was sharing so that I can go alongside him to frog with him, fully rely on God, because this is not a dream that could have happened without fully relying on God. He was inviting me to frogging. And I thought, oh, no, I must become God myself. I must solve the problem, make it a project, etc., etc. And so again and again I learned, oh, no. He's like, get down on your knees with me. Dream this dream. And he said, God has given me this vision. It doesn't mean that, I'm fully confident that God will make it to pass, but it doesn't mean that it's in my lifetime. I'll do my part, and if it's not God's will that I see the completion, then someone else will finish. So that's the frogging. That's frogging. It's saying, when you see a vision, oh, we can't handle that. We're not the right size church for that scope of project. He's saying, no, that's not what we're asking. We're asking you to frog with us, to dream God's dream and be some part of it. And that's, I think, for me, what connects it. It's not about finishing God's dream, us going in and being the rescuers, but it's really about honoring God. So how do we become partner with God to make all of God's people honor God and all of God's people honorable and beloved? This is the frogging lesson I learn every time I'm there, and I'm reminded of, because our culture constantly says, can do it yourself. Don't ask for help. Self-reliance, right? That's the American ideal. No, frog with us. Get down on your knees. Dream dreams with us. Do our part. And so, once again, I want to humbly request and invite you to frog together. Yes? Amen.